Good morning, John Hughes here with my morning focus, and it's Wonderful Wednesday, so welcome. And today we're going to talk about the most under-neglected and abused areas, most effective for our overall health, that we just almost disregard because we're so busy with life and running around and whatever, and that is, along with exercise and diet, the need for sleep. And so I'm going to talk about why that's important and several ways to ensure that you get a better night's sleep. First of all, during our sleep, and there's still a lot of studies being done to find out exactly what it's all about, but what we do know is this. During your time of sleeping, your brain goes through a chemical bath and cleans out a lot of things like the amyloid plaque that's associated with Alzheimer's disease. It also regulates your blood sugar and lowers your cortisol level, and that is known as the stress hormone. That's where you get, fat around the stomach. And in a recent study where two groups were given exactly the same diet, monitored for exercise, one was given 5.5 hours of sleep, the other was given 8.5 hours of sleep, calories were the same, they had a 55% greater weight loss reduction in the group that got 8.5 hours of sleep than the 5.5. Now, why does that happen? Well, you've got two hormones that regulate when you're hungry and how you feel, and the satisfaction of having eaten, and when it goes from your stomach to your brain, knowing that you've eaten enough. Those are ghrelin and leptin. And what happens when you don't get enough sleep? Your hormone that tells you that you're satisfied is diminished the following day. Your cortisol levels are spiked, which puts more blood sugar in your body. And ultimately, you are going to be making more decisions about poor food, and you'll have actually temptations for more sugar. Check it out next time you're tired. Plus, there might be that sensation that, I could really use a pick-me-up right now. And that's exactly it. That's that sugar spike. So there's several things that happen. Plus, this is a period during the time of the day that for 6, 7, 8 hours or more, you won't be eating, right? If you wake up in the middle of the night and you actually go to the fridge, that could be an issue. So I would say enlist the help of your family. Maybe put a lock on your refrigerator or your cabinets and give them the lock so you have to confront them. Okay, so those are some of the reasons why it's so important to include this. And it's so easy to do. And so, ways to sleep better. First of all, have a regular time to go to bed and get up every day. If you know what time your morning routine starts, then back it up from there. Find out how early is 7 or 8 hours before, and get into the sack 8, 9 hours before perhaps. Okay, 1 to 3 hours before you go to sleep, turn off your computer, your smartphone, and your TV. Get away from them. Why? Well, as part of the light cycle and the nighttime cycle that we are accustomed to as animals is the production of melatonin, which calms us down and gets us ready for sleeping. And that's disrupted by the blue lights of all these devices. If you do need to use them, you can change the light bulbs in your rooms, or you can wear blue light glasses, which block out a lot of that. Also, on your computer, you can look for a program called F.Lux, which will reduce the blue light emissions, and also a lot of smartphones have that built in. I know iPhones do. So 1 to 3 hours before, stop that. There's another reason too. Just all of the busyness of those devices can make your brain just busier. And so it's harder to calm down when it finally does get time to go to bed. So now we're moving into the bedroom. Perhaps have a good book, something calm, maybe something spiritual, something fun, not something too heavy, although it could be something related to what you're going to do the next day, and that'll actually turn on your brain to percolate things over the night, and you might come up with some ideas through your sleeping, having planted some seeds the night before. But conversely, reading something nightmarish or whatever can do the opposite, and you don't want to do that. So now you're in bed. Your room should be as dark as possible. Remove all those little lights, unplug things that have those little vampire lights, and close all the curtains and turn off all the lights. Okay, if you still have any light peeking in, try to black out your windows, or maybe put a mask or something over your face if noise is an issue, or if you travel a lot, the noise can change. I know when I go to Buenos Aires, it's a big city, or New York or Chicago, lots of noise and buses and everything, and I'm used to having it more quiet. Interestingly, when people come from those places to my home, it's too quiet for them. So anyway, I like to use earplugs, and I find I sleep a lot better. And then that works really well. If you've got a lot going on, and actually just to plan ahead for the next day, I recommend writing things down. Certainly a good idea, and for another video, we'll talk about planning your day, writing it the night before. But anything that's going around, bouncing in your head, write that down. That way you don't have to worry about forgetting it. And it also won't keep you busy, keep you up all night. If you happen to wake up in the middle of the night and your brain turns on and you're thinking about all the stuff going on in your life, write that down too. So, another way to relax is to do several deep breaths in through your nose, hold them for several seconds, and then slowly exhale. I find that within 5 to 7 breaths, I actually go back into normal breathing and I'm just out like a light. Pretty interesting. Keep your room cool, and that's a relative term for everybody, but cool enough that maybe you need a light blanket or something. But when you're hot and sweaty, it just makes it more uncomfortable to sleep. And finally, as you get in bed, maybe read that good book, turn off the light, and then just lay there for a few minutes, reflect over the day, think if there's anything that you need to clean up the following day, and you've written down your notes. Be grateful for the wonderful day that you've had, the opportunity to have been of service, and looking forward to the following day, and then knock out, get a great night's sleep. Also, turn off your cell phone, put it on, if you use it for an alarm like I do, put it on airplane mode. That way it won't be emitting all those electromagnetic radiation from arm's reach away from your head. And you won't be getting dings and bings and bangs and buzzers to wake you up with people sending nonsense throughout the night. Any major issues will still be there for you to tackle. You probably couldn't do it in the middle of the night anyway. So there you go. There's reasons why sleep is so important, and several ways to help you to get a better night's sleep. So I thank you very much for letting me be part of your success, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. Bye.